Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Israel Kowalsko, and today I'm gonna show you dudes and dudettes how to model not just your typical teacup and blender, but the perfect teacup and blender. Okay, guys? So let's go ahead and start the cooking. I'm using Blender 2.92. And one of the first things that I'm gonna do is go ahead and add a cylinder. And I'm gonna go ahead into edit mode. Tap number 2 to go into edge select mode. And I'm gonna select that bottom edge. And I'm gonna scale it in just slightly. Like that. And then I'm gonna extrude it about right here, and I'm gonna scale it in. And I'm gonna bring it up about, let me see, I say about right there is okay. I'm gonna go ahead and delete the top face. And there you go, guys. That's our teacup. Call it a day. That's it. Now I'm just playing, guys. Yeah, let's see. Since it's not your average teacup, I'm gonna go ahead and add some thickness to it. Now I'm not gonna necessarily add a solidify modifier. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna Alt Z, select these faces. Before I do that, make sure the scale, okay, everything's beautiful right there. I'm gonna go here into face, and it's called Solidify Faces. And let me see if it did its job. Yep, right there, guys, it did the job. Alt A to deselect everything. And the only problem with this is that, like any other problem with the solidification, sometimes it creates interfaces that we don't necessarily want. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of these interfaces right here. And now this tutorial is not necessarily for beginners, but it's not necessarily a mission impossible either. And right here we're going to use the Force. We're Jedi Masters. We're Sith Lords, Dark Sith Lords. And all we have to do here really, guys, is push and hold Alt. And that's it. It selects the whole face wing. And X to delete it. And that's it, guys. Ba beep ba boom. It's done like magics. Let's go ahead and press number 2. Go into edge select mode. And we're going to add a face. And after adding the face, we're going to inset it by pushing the letter I. And there's our little inset, guys. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. And it's looking beautiful, guys. The block out, it's looking beautiful. Let me go ahead and select this bottom face right here. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna inset it 1, 2, let's go back with Control Plus. And what we're gonna do with these faces, we're gonna put them in why about there is fine. Why about this fine, guys? So just looking beautiful. The perfect teacup. Right there, and we're gonna select the bottom face and we're gonna delete it. Now you gotta be careful because it doesn't appear like we deleted it because of the other face that we inserted earlier, but right here you can tell it did the job. And now we're just gonna select this edge wing, and instead of adding a face, we're gonna push F3 and we're gonna get our fill, our grid fill, and that's it, guys. 8 looks adequate, and we're just gonna mess with the offset to align it with the rest of the geometry. So here we go, guys. Which, you know, it already appears to be aligned actually. See, it's aligned. It's not, you just gotta make sure it's not sideways. It's not, you know, we just gotta align it. Push 7, Control 7, and actually that right there looks good to me. And let's go ahead, go back into object mode, and let's look at the might scale this a little bit inwards. And we just eyeballing it right here. Eye of the tiger, guys. Eye of the tiger. I'm gonna make sure it doesn't overlap with the rest of our geometry. And it's looking excellent, guys. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do what we do every day in Blender, which is select a mesh, right click, shade smooth. And that's looking beautiful. Now we're gonna go ahead and auto smooth it and give it about 30 degrees. Now, do you guys know the trick, or do you know, because I know when I started Blender and I saw dudes always messing with this auto smooth, I was a very dumb guy because I didn't know what the hell they were doing with this auto smooth. What the hell? And you know, you just see them all. Sometimes they put it at 30, sometimes they put it at 60. But without really understanding why are they doing that. Why sometimes 30, why sometimes 60, why sometimes 90. What this auto smooth does, it defines your edges. See, for instance, this edge right here, this sharp edge. If we were to bump this to 60, edge is gone. Edge is gone. See that, guys? Now, if we bump this all the way up, that gets rid of all the edges. In that case, now it doesn't necessarily mean that the edges disappear, just that it smooths out all the edges at 180 degrees. See that? So what we would have to do here now, what you can't do at times, if you want to keep it at 180, no edges, you would have to manually come in here and manhandle the edges by marking them sharp. See, we get our edge back. Same thing while here. Mark sharp and bam, there's our edge back. But this little normal, I suppose this tool was created so that when we auto smooth it, we don't have to come in here and manually manhandle every single edge. Instead, it has that percentage value, which at this point we're going to go ahead and use 30. I think 30 is adequate for this. Now let me go ahead and look at a reference image. Let me see my reference image. I think I had the reference image right here. Cub. Okay. See, we see right here we have an edge right here, but it's not as strong. It's not as strong. See, this is strong. So we have to have an edge, but it's not as strong. So what do we do here? Okay, the first thing we're gonna do now is let's go ahead and add a subdivision surface modifier. Now that got rid of the edge completely, and that's not how we want it. We want an edge right here. We want an edge right here. So what do we do in this case? What we can do is we can Control E and give it an edge crease. See, and there's our edge again. And there you go, guys. There's our edge. Now, if you want to waste the edge a little bit, we just double tap G to slide the edge. And let's go ahead and put it about, I say about right there. And that's kind of what the reference image is looking like. You know, it's a little bit stronger. Let me see if, actually that's the highest we can go. So if it's a little bit stronger, what else can we do to define this edge? We can Control B and bevel it. And see, it brings that edge again. And what we want to do is we barely want it visible. We want to see it, but barely. I say about right here. Right there, I think is perfect. It's not too strong, but, and there's an edge. Okay. Now, let's go ahead. I don't think we need to crease the top one. Okay. And this one, let's go ahead. Yeah, we don't need an edge crease. Just with that bevel was what we wanted. So now let's go ahead and look at the bottom side of it. And what we could do here is just tweaking it to get it to our liking. That's all it is, guys. Tweak it, tweak it, tweak it. You know, get it close to the reference. I think that's perfect tweak right there. And then let's go ahead and select. And that's all I'm doing now. Tweaking it now to define these edges Let's go ahead and select this right here. And let's bring it up a little bit. And there you go, guys, see? And let's go ahead and scale it a little bit more inward. About right there. And that's all I'm doing, guys, is tweaking it to get it like the reference image. And that's close. I mean, that's close now. What we're gonna have to do with this edge right here, this is the one that's going to define. Let's go ahead and right there, see that, guys? Right, all I did was bevel it and bam, guys, see? The closer it in, the sharper it is. And the farther I separate the bevel, it's going to have more of a fall off. And that's where you have to kind of look at the reference image and see what they have. I think it's more like this right here. Just like that. See that? Very beautiful stuff, guys. I think that is beautiful stuff. Yeah, I mean, just like the reference image. Just like our reference image. And now let's go ahead and work on this top part. Obviously, this subsurface modifier kind of messed up with our solidification, but again, what we could do here, guys, let's go ahead and select this edge, Control E and edge crease. See, there you go, guys. Bam. Let's keep it at 80. Let's select this other outer wing and Control E, edge crease. And there you go, guys. There's our solidification. Now we don't have to bring it all the way up to 1. See that, guys? 1 will give us a complete flat edge, but we want to kind of sort of bevel it in. So we decrease it. I say about right here. Right here is fine. Now we have this little edge, unwanted edge. So what do we do? I mean, there is no edge. In that case, what we can do is we go back here to our 60. Let's go ahead and increase it to 60. And that fixes the issue right there, guys. See? Let's go back to the edge. And that's beautiful, guys. I mean, that is beautiful stuff. I think that is beautiful. Another thing we can do is we can bevel it, of course. Add a fillet. And yeah, man, that's the perfect cup or whatever. We got our edges, we got our bevels, our fillets, a subdivision surface modifier. And the next part, what we're gonna do is go ahead and add the handle. Now that's not too complicated. We're gonna use a cuff, Bezier cuff, they call it. We're gonna use that right there. So let's go ahead and pop it in. But before we do that, let's go ahead and call this our cup base. And that's it, guys. And let's go ahead and hide it. Actually, no, we need it. And then let's go ahead, curve, Bezier curve, go into edit mode. And as you can see, it's not straight. So to get it straight, we select everything by pressing A, scale Y 0. Now it's straight. And then we just rotate it on the Z axis 90 degrees and bring it over here on the side. And let's go ahead, and again it's just tweaking the thing. We're just tweaking it right now to get it to our liking. And there you go, guys. You know, we just tweak it and get it to our liking. I'm gonna select both of them, right click and subdivide to add another gizmo. And let me see, I say it's about, looking at the reference image, let me see, so it goes in and then, okay, so it's more flat, you know, a little bit more flat on top, then it comes in hard. So I say about right there. And let me see, it's about right here. And again, it's just tweaking it, eyeballing it, eye of the tiger, tweaking it, you know, getting it as close as possible. And then all we really have to do, once we have it set, once we have the curve set, add some geometry to it. And that's where we go over here. And the only real thing we're going to be messing with is the geometry and the resolution preview right here. And we're gonna go ahead and give it some depth, and let me see right here, but how much do we need to, okay, and then we're just gonna align this, you know, more to our teacup, about right there, just aligning it and tweaking it, guys. Aligning it and tweaking it. It's about right here. And then for this, I may actually want to see the wireframe of it. And the reason why is so that we can see how much geometry we give it. But I think 12 is fine. The depth resolution is fine. Let's go back into object mode, Control T. Now we can still tweak it while it's in curve mode. That's the good thing. So, and let me see. Okay, I think that's a little bit, I think it's about right here, guys. Let me see, okay. Let's bring it in a little. And like I said, just tweaking. You know, that's adequate right there. That looks beautiful. That looks beautiful, guys. I think that looks beautiful. The perfect teacup. Right here, guys. Israel Kowalsko, John Blaze, showing you guys how to do it the proper ways. Okay? And let me see. Yeah, I mean that's it, guys. That's the block out. That's the base, and the rest of the stuff is just little detail work. Cause you don't want to. I mean, you say, well, what the hell right here? What are we gonna do right here? Oh, well, let's look at the reference image. Okay, let me see a good shot of that. It's right here, guys. See? It looks like it. Like, okay, let me see. Okay. Okay, let me see. Trying to get it as close as possible. So the only thing it looks like is let's go ahead and add edge loop right here. Go into edit mode. Well, actually, before we do that, since it's a curve, we have to turn it into actual. Once you have it, you know, once you have that's it, guys. Because you're gonna have to Control Z, which nothing's wrong with that, but you know. But what you want to do, in case something messes up, let's go ahead, duplicate the whole thing and bring it up here. New collection, let's call this copy. See, that's the only thing I hate about this blend. Usually if I was working with 2.79, I'll just pop this and insert it in one of those layer slots. In this one, you gotta duplicate it and then hide it. Get rid of it, hide it. We don't want to see it yet, unless we mess up, of course. See, and there it is right there, guys. So we just hide it, and that's it. And that's in case we mess up. And like I indicated, before we do anything to this, or before we can do anything to it, we gotta convert it into an actual mesh. And there you go, guys. There's your beautiful mesh. Now over here, as you can see, the scale's not white. I mean, this is only like if you still want to add like a modifier. You gotta make sure these things are set. See, if I apply it, bam, it goes back to R1, and there you go. That means it's okay to do whatever you want with it. And what I'm gonna do right here with it, add an edge loop, add another edge loop right here, and then come in here and manhandle the stuff. Go right here, guys. Alt E, extrude it along the face normals. Okay, extrude it like that, and then bring it in. Bring it in like so right here. And let me look at the reference. Yeah, it's kind of looking like it, you know. So now let's go ahead and go into edge select mode. Select that face and bring it in. Alright, don't worry about that right now, guys. Don't worry about it. That's just detail stuff. Face select this wing. Alt E, extrude along the normals, and bring it in. Bring it in, guys. Edge select. Yeah, guys, that's looking like the reference image. Let's go ahead and add a subdivision surface modifier. Bump it up to 2. And we have this issue again with the edges. Actually, let's auto smooth our edges. Bring it into 60. And Let me see what I can do here. Go into edge select mode and select these faces right here. And we're gonna bring them down just a little bit, about right there. Let me see. See that? It's a little bit just like that. And we'll do the same thing with the bottom side. Deselect everything. Select that edge, that edge, that edge. And that's looking good. And do the same thing with this. And that's looking perfect, guys. The perfect teacup. It's beautiful, beautiful stuff. Now, if you want to be picky about it, like, well, you're just intersect. Well, it doesn't really matter. I seen some of the professional guys do the same. Intersecting geometry. It doesn't really matter. But if you're one of those picky guys, you know, one of those Grandmaster, Jedi Force, planet killing, ex-member, CG, Jesus or whatever. I mean, what we can't do right here, so I don't got time. I mean, I just don't got time. But what we can do right here, guys, what we can do right here is apply a boolean. We can apply a boolean to it. We do that. See, I have it activated. Yes, there's a boolean. It's an internal add-on for Blender, which means you don't have to download it from nowhere. You just activate it here in the preference properties. It's called a Boolean tool. Now, to do a Boolean here, see, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna duplicate this teacup base, and we're gonna hide it. And this is going to be the one for our boolean. And then we look, make sure the rotation and scale are set properly, which they are. Then we're going to select this piece, go to our bool tool, and we're just going to put a difference. And that's it, guys. That's it. Yeah, bring back our teacup base, and that's it. That's about it, guys. That is a perfect teacup right here. That is a perfect, you know, the curves are white, the edges are white, our handle is perfect. Yeah, man, that's it. That's it, guys. We are finished. It is done. It is complete. It is done, guys. The perfect teacup in Blender. Right here, guys. That's it, guys. That's our perfect teacup. Bada beep, bada boom, guys. Thank you so much, and peace out.